Sebastian Martinez, MMA Minute, here with Cathal Pendred, who faces Ghassan Umalatov in the battle of the bald, bearded welterweights. So, Cathal, you're fighting here in Sweden. You're down in welterweight. How are you feeling about this fight coming up on Saturday?
I'm really excited. You know, this is my return to welterweight, where I believe I'm at home, where I believe I'm at my best. So I'm really excited going out there and putting on a performance.
Now, you're coming off a win over Mike King in a very exciting fight where you were badly hurt early on. You showed your heart in front of hometown fans. Being able to make a UFC debut like that, such a splash, and in Ireland as well, that's got to be a dream come true, right?
Oh, it was amazing to have had a fight like that got the crowd going like it did. Have the the best UFC crowd of all time, according to Dana White, going crazy like that. It was amazing. It was the fairy tale start to my UFC career, and it's been brilliant. And it's also great because I know that I'll never experience that sort of craziness again. This is my second UFC fight, so I feel more comfortable as it is. But I also know I'm going into I know the Swedish fans are going to be great, but they're not going to be behind me as much as the Irish fans, and it's not going to be that sort of intensity. So I feel a lot more relaxed now, a lot more confident, and like I said, going back down to welterweight, that's given me even more confidence. So I think the moral of the story here is I'm extremely confident going into this fight. I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, you did sort of get eased into the UFC in a way. Obviously, you were part of the Ultimate Fighter. Most UFC fighters don't get that opportunity to show what they've got in the Ultimate Fighter. Do you feel maybe that gave you a little bit of an advantage, that sort of the UFC jitters maybe weren't quite as big, or that you knew a bit more about how it works?
Not really at all, because the Ultimate Fighter is nothing like a UFC event. The fights are nothing like a UFC event. In fact, the fights are like no other fighting event you'll ever be at. So in terms of preparing for a UFC fight, the best thing I did was coming up through the ranks, fighting cage wars and stuff like this. That's what prepared me for the UFC. I don't think the Ultimate Fighter did. The Ultimate Fighter was just a ticket to get in there. That's the only reason I did it, and that's the only thing it does for you. I don't think in terms of preparing you for the UFC. I don't think so. Yeah.
Now, your fight with Ghassan Umalatov, style-wise, how do you feel you match up against him?
I think he's, he's obviously a Russian Sambo guy. He prefers to grapple. Most of his wins have come by submission. So I think I match up really well against him. I have a lot of confidence in my grappling. My grappling is very strong, I believe, and my wrestling and my submission game, and it's getting better and better. And I got my first submission win in my last fight, which, to be honest, it's surprising that it took that long to come, but I feel like I'm on a roll now. I feel like I'm submitting guys more than ever in the gym, and I feel like I'm going to do the same here.
So you feel you have an advantage no matter where the fight goes?
No matter where the fight goes. I mean, I see his strength as being the grappling, and I believe I'm stronger than him there. So I really believe anywhere on this fight goes, I'm the better fighter.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe SBG Ireland are undefeated in the UFC so far.
You are wrong. There was actually the first time the UFC came to Dublin, there was a guy called Tom Egan, a good friend of mine.
Lost to John Hathaway, right?
Lost to John Hathaway. He was the first guy from SBG to get in there, and unfortunately he lost. But since that fight, we are unbeaten, and we plan on remaining that way for a while.
Yeah, you guys are definitely on a roll. John Kavanagh must have some big aces up his sleeves.
Yeah, John is the man. He's the best coach I've ever worked with, and it's amazing to work with him. It gives you confidence in working with him, and it's just amazing to be a part of the whole thing. There's people contacting John from all across the globe right now, fighters from all parts of the world looking to come over and train with SBG. It just goes to show you how big of a name he's getting, how big of a name the gym is getting, and that's great.
Now, without revealing the secrets to success, is there anything particular they can say that John Kavanagh brings? Like, what makes him such a special coach?
I think the most important thing about John is he's an open-minded coach. You find a lot of coaches that have their way of doing things, and that's how they like it done. John is open to suggestions. He's open to changing the way things he's done. He's constantly evolving, and that's the most important thing within this sport, because this sport is constantly evolving, and John keeps up with that. That's the best thing about John's coaching skills, I believe.
Now, the fighter sort of leading this Irish wave of success is of course, Conor McGregor, who scored a big win last weekend. I just want to get your thoughts on your teammates' big victory.
It was amazing, but it was nothing surprising. It was exactly how I thought it was going to go. I wasn't one bit nervous going into the fight, which I usually am for when my teammates are fighting, but I was so confident in Conor. I was so confident in the way he was going to stop this guy, and I think, you know, it's got to be a title shot next. There's no featherweights in the UFC doing what he's doing, knocking guys out like he's doing, and selling fights like he's doing. So it makes sense on both sides. So give him the title shot.
And does that kind of give like a sort of a moral boost to the rest of the team when you see your teammates doing so well?
Big time. That's always been the way it's been within our team. We're quite a close team, and when we see one of us do well, it spurs us on, it encourages us. So you know, especially with 3 more of us fighting a week after, it's really spurred us on. Like myself, Gunny, Paddy Houlihan all fighting a week later. We feel great after seeing Conor do that, because we train with him day in, day out. We do the same work as he does, so we're ready to go after seeing him do that.
So what kind of show should the Swedish fans expect on Saturday?
It's going to be, well, I know for my fight, I'm coming from the get-go. There's going to be no feeling out process. I'm just going out. I'm going to put the pressure on this guy. It's going to be a really exciting fight. It's going to be a dominant win on my part. I'm excited to put on a great performance for the Swedish fans. I believe they're some of the best fans in Europe. I believe they come out to events like football fans, a lot of screaming, shouting, cheering. I love that, and I feed from that energy. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then we've got Gunny in the main event, which is always special to see. He's one of the most unique fighters in the game, and it's a treat for the Swedish fans to have him here. I'm sure they appreciate him a bit more, being a Nordic guy as well. So it's going to be great.
Well, something tells me there's going to be a lot of good energy for you to feed off on Saturday. Mr. Sebastian Martinez, MMA Minute, here with Cathal Pendred, who faces Ghassan Umalatov on Saturday here at UFC Fight Night Stockholm.